Tell us about your the Cancer Foundation, whatever you want to raise money for, because you're about to do something really extremely gross to raise some money.
Honestly, I just went on Facebook and they're like, "Oh, it's your birthday soon," and they're like, "You can potentially raise money for a nonprofit organization." And I was like, "Oh, my aunt has just beat breast cancer, now has lung cancer," and I'm like, "Oh, I'll choose a cancer."
All right, actually. Coming up, we're gonna do a show on that, because we do have a cancer survivor. She's a breast cancer survivor. She's gonna be coming in and doing the show. So here's $100 towards your foundation. 100. Never mind, guys. Not cheaping out here, okay? For that foundation.
Well done.
All right, and so here you go. And you just have to basically. This only happens when you chew one piece and swallow it.
Okay, one piece.
One piece, yeah. You don't have to eat. You don't have to eat the whole one can.
No, it's the big piece.
So wait.
It's the big one.
You can pick whatever
If
piece
she
you want.
backs out, you're not going to donate money to the Cancer Foundation?
Shut up. No.
Alright.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay, drum roll.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Drum roll.
Okay,
There we go. Okay, hold on. Hang on. That's there for you if you need it. Hold on. Give me it. Have it.
did it.
$100 for your foundation, Ricky Rocket. You are a star.
I know the aftermath is not that bad.
Well, true enough, you can wash it down with some beer if you like. You might as well, right? It's not like it's gonna help.
Okay.
Anyway, well done.
Okay.
Love it, and that's yours. All right, towards the foundation, yeah. So we got a good start.
That lingering aftertaste.
You can't see right now, my eyes are watering.
Did you bring a toothbrush and some paste? Or you gonna actually go
I brought a lot of gum.
Okay, I was about to say, the tips aren't going to be hot tonight. Food was great, service was great too, but man, there was a fart coming out of that. Wait till his breath.
Gum is good.
Smell of cat food, but I don't know. It's weird.
I was gonna actually just switch it up and give you some Old Roy, but you know, I didn't.
No, I wouldn't let him do that.
She's a good friend. I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, we're done.
Okay, we're done.
Thank you very much. Oh, we got more donations already. Look at that. Look at that. You're going off to a good start.
You guys swallow that? Wow, you guys are pussy.
Hell no. Why would I? Yeah, you're right. We are pussies. Nothing but big pussies, right? Big
Hey, I
pussies.
swallowed it.
Thank you for making me do that. If my teacher questions me, I'll be like, it's for fucking cancer. Or like,
That's right.
Or my future.
Nobody's gonna question you.
Well, you just told them so.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, give her a big round of applause, Miss Ricky Rocket. Raising money for cancer research. All right. Hey, it's Tony Tattoo coming at you from the wonderful Kildares Pub in the deep southwest of Calgary, Alberta. This is Wide Open YYC, and now we've been getting a little bit of mail from all our people that have peeps that have been watching us, and you know, going, hey guys, why don't you lighten up, okay? You guys aren't running for office or anything like that, and that's true, but one day I will.
I can't lighten up, Tony.
You sure
The planet is dying. Didn't you see?
Actually, it's you know, this is funny, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Your monologue's getting messed up.
No, it's fine. It's like I don't care anymore. I'm 800 in, so it's like. But the thing is, yes, we did have little Miss Greta Thunberg from Sweden, who went to the UN and tore a strip off all the leaders of the known world. Good girl, because they're the most useless freaking organization on this planet.
Hard to believe I
All right.
smarter.
So she went in there, and she went in very, very prepped, I would say.
Coached.
Guys, prepped, coached. She put it on well, man. She was like, I don't know how many times anybody can say, "How dare you! How dare you! Dare you!"
Greta, calm down.
She's a
Oh fuck! You know, I was trying to.
She's
Oh,
passionate. She's a passionate gal.
She is.
Everyone's talking about it.
Absolutely, you know, and she became way more famous than me. That's for sure. but also
for the moment.
Steady there.
yeah, for the moment. But it was
Until
funny.
The show kicks off.
It was funny watching the UN leaders. You know, all the leaders of the known world fucking just go. Bah. We brought her here. Oh yeah, did you
He
see?
was falling asleep.
Did you see Trump then when he did his speech and she was right behind him giving him the hate stare? Like giving the
That was a stank eye.
stank eye.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you what. It boils down to again, we talked about science. Science has two sides to it. It depends on who's getting paid. Yeah, agreed or disagree?
No, that's entirely true, and that's something nobody ever talks about. That's a great point to bring up. Is that you don't go to university and get here's your degree. You're a scientist, and you work for like thescientist.com. You're a researcher for a company, and that makes you a scientist. Now, what company is paying you, whether that be Exxon Valdez or Tesla,
Greenpeace,
or Tesla or Greenpeace.
It's the business of
That's
science.
a great point.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, exactly. So funding is coming from either side of the argument, right? And you know what? I always say, you know, depending on what side of the argument you're on, follow the money. I can bring up one point about that. The Rothschild family. All right, the Rothschild family. If you don't know anything about it, they were a powerful family back in the day during the Napoleonic War, where they funded both sides of that war and bet on which side was going to win. Like they double dipped.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, smart business. They decided, and they bet. I don't know which other family they bet with, but they went, you know what? We're going to double it up here, and we're going to fund the British. We're going to cut off all funding to the French, and ended up, you know, the British came out alive. Of course, Napoleon doing something stupid like every other person after him that wanted to do global. You want to take over the global was. Yeah, go at Russia in the winter. All right.
Dumbass.
Yeah, but without Napoleon, we wouldn't have gotten that dope ass ABBA song. Waterloo.
Yes, fair enough.
I'm sorry.
Where did
That
you get it
won.
from?
Yes, that won the Eurovision Song Contest. It's a fantastic song. It's a classic. Waterloo. Couldn't escape if I wanted to.
Anywho,
Bum 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 bum.
so
They were Swedish too.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
It all makes
Maybe
sense.
they're related
It's
to
a conspiracy theory.
no, it's a conspiracy fact.
The Rothschilds made the Waterloo, the British wins, and then all these years later, the Swedish gal
Greta
Greta
Bjorn.
Thunberg. Yeah. It's
And
a-
they furnish our homes. They're
Yeah.
going to take us over.
it's
Yeah,
a
that's good. Nobody
conspiracy
could
theory.
understand. Yeah, nobody could understand IKEA. You know, like. Did you ever see the book that IKEA put together? It looks like a bunch of Scrabble pieces. Anyway, so she came to Canada, God bless her little soul, and did the whole parade. The climate emergency strike.
Strike.
Climate emergency. This is a climate emergency. We're all going to be dead very soon here.
There were lots of them.
We're going to run out of oxygen, we're going to run out of the ecosystem, we're going to run out of everything, and everyone's going to run around screaming until they can't scream anymore because they can't breathe because there's no oxygen. But
The students were on strike.
the climate change people. Yeah, the students to skip
What
school.
were they striking from?
They were striking about her
No,
message to.
No. What were they striking from? Like if you're on strike, you're like,
School.
I want to be paid better.
School.
But they're paying to go to school, so I don't know if that's actually a strike. That's just a
I think
Protest.
waste of time.
I think a lot of people got the day off.
That's
to do it.
Australia.
If
Yeah.
I was paying that much money for my child to go to school, and they're like, I'm gonna walk out because the ozone or whatever fuck. You're like, no, the fuck you're not. You can strike at 3:30 after the fucking bell rings when I'm not paying for you to fucking be there.
True.
Maybe
And they
it
went all
was.
gathering a large field and much plastic behind.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the school considered it a field trip because they're learning about all this in school, and there were lots of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, maybe.
Yeah. So
It's
go
one
out.
field
And,
trip.
So I did a little basically I used to plant trees. Yes, I got paid to do it, but still I planted more trees than anybody in this room or Trudeau or Greta. I planted more trees than you, Greta. And so I was gainful occupation. What, you know? It's like so.
I've spread a lot of seed around too.
That's exactly right. Except I had little seedlings, so it was like, it's kind of like little baby Groot. I was planting like baby Groots everywhere, right? It was fucking awesome. Groot!
Left
Yeah.
your roots in a lot of places.
So if 200,000 people went to this strike and they all planted 10 baby Groots, follow along here with the math.
Yeah.
10 baby Groots apiece, that'd be 2 million trees planted. And as we know, the ecosystem works off plant life, eating CO2 and providing oxygen. That's called photosynthesis, and I don't know where that science got lost. Photosynthesis.
Chlorophyll, more like borophyll.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. Moving right along, incels. I had no idea what an incel was until this week, and I thought it was a new product by
How do you spell it?
INCELS.
That's how you make the graphs and the charts on the computer, right?
That's Excel.
Alright.
So I thought incel would be like, okay, well that's where you make internal graphs and fucking math and all that stuff.
Alright.
But so what it is it's a term. It's called involuntary celibate. Involuntary celibate.
Involuntarily celibate.
So what would that mean to you, Dan?
Loser.
Rich?
Spent too much time with their mommies.
Or their Catholic priests.
Or not enough.
That hurt.
Well, no, they
Oh,
could be.
that's just wrong.
They have to be celibate.
That's just a problem.
Okay. All right. So anyway, what I think is the fact that, and I want to make a point here, and I want to talk to the education system. Hold on.
Floor is yours, buddy.
Take that thing about the Catholic priests out.
The education system.
Education.
Exactly. And all these schools are cutting things like band programs, drama programs, arts, stuff like that. Where when I went to school, we all had groups. We had our little cliques, and I'm sure it's still the same. I can't see it being any different.
I was a jock.
You were a jock, and so we had the jocks, we had the stoners.
Okay.
People that smoked and smoked weed. And we had the academics, because apparently I'm not allowed to say nerd anymore. But look what nerds did. They just took over the planet with Microsoft and all this. And there were these slow people, which nobody likes to talk about, but they had their own little group. Slow. They're slow. They have all kinds of definitions of what is problems with kids these days. Back in my day, everybody was just slow in that section.
Okay.
And then we had the alternatives. The alternatives were the people that went to drama class, they went to band class, they took band trips, they did drama trips. And so everybody had kind of somewhere to fit in, right, Dave?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they fit in somewhere.
Some of us fit into all those groups.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was the grafters, right? Dave himself invites himself to weddings and he just grafts, and he's the most famous wedding crasher on the
Been
planet.
there, done that with him.
And next thing you know, he's I'm a friend of the uncles, whatever.
No, he doesn't even do that. He just goes in
Oh yeah, and
and
just
starts dancing.
right. My point being is the fact that these people who we amalgamated with each other, we had our cliques, we all got laid. Point of fact. But with our own, because if I tried to go pick up a jock chick, I'd get my ass kicked by fucking her, not anybody else. So now all these things, you took band out of school, you took the arts out of school, and next thing you know, we have incels who have nobody, who go and try to pick up jock chicks, or they go try to pick up, well, they don't pick up the stoners, whatever, but they're going, and they're frustrated, and now they're talking amongst each other, and they're doing things like, sexually frustrated, blue balls and everything like that, never been porked, now taking out people with a van in Toronto. Explain it to me.
The rise and availability of graphic pornography should really be discussed here.
Okay.
Not to date you or anybody else in this panel,
I'll
but
date myself.
when you were growing up, you didn't have the internet. I mean, I pretty much always had the internet since my sexual maturity.
No, we had to go and steal Penthouse magazines from the local bookstore.
I can watch. I've always been able to watch and see pretty much whatever I want to. And you didn't have that, so you had to go out, and you had to be social, and you had to find a woman, and you had to kind of cater yourself to that woman if you wanted to have that kind of a physical relationship with her, or man, sorry, Cass. Whereas my younger generation has always been able to see whatever they want to see, and be able to be kind of locked up in your room. And then when you finally want to go experience that in real life, you have no idea how to actually talk to a woman and how to progress a relationship to that physical point, because you've had this built up in your mind of what a woman does because of all the things you've seen online, and it just doesn't work like that in the real life.
True.
You get frustrated, you're like, well, I saw a movie where the guy put his dick in a pizza box and he just opened it up and she started sucking it. And I tried that and it didn't work. I can't believe it. No woman wants to suck my sausage pizza. And then you fucking get frustrated and run in, like you said, like run into a crowd. But it's a different, we interact differently nowadays. We're not going out, we're not being social anymore, bar to bar.
We don't have to because of this.
Because of this. And then you actually try to meet someone in real life and get a physical relationship going, and you don't know how to do it because you're fucking awkward.
You're not social.
You're awkward as shit.
Yeah. So
And-
brings up. Sorry, go ahead.
I think what also adds to it is the availability of what you can get off the internet as a stimulus frustrates them even more.
Do you remember when
when I was 13, a chick with big boobs on TV would be like, "Whoa, feel a little bit of a blood flow."
Daisy, you
I need
like
like five.
Baywatch?
I need like
kind of give them that funny
I need
feeling
like
about
5
baby.
midgets peeing on a gal now, just to open my eyes so I can pay attention. Like I'm so desensitized.
Fun fact.
and-
Fun fact. You remember when they tried to make these as small as possible?
And then you realize you could get porn on it, and then they started getting.
Next thing you know, we're gonna have like 60-inch fucking. Hey, there's my phone right there. Fucking hey, look at that. Look at that. Whoa, look at that. You can see that.
Like for a cell phone, I couldn't even
And,
get it in my pocket.
and it's not crazy because you look at the advancements. I mean, once again, when you guys bachelor parties and shit like that, your 20s, you got the old blow up doll and shit like that. Have you seen the fucking sex dolls they got now?
First of all, I don't know what you're talking about,
not even
though, but
all
yeah, I know. I saw the stuff.
Yeah.
Not even going that far with the sex doll. It's so easy to socially fail these days because if you're not comfortable with the opposite sex, well, you go home and you get on your computer and you get on your phone and you're satisfied for only that night. And the next night, you go, Jesus, do I go out to the bar and try and find a woman, or do I just sit here and watch some porn? Ah, fuck it, I'll sit here and watch some porn. And it continues.
You get
The circle
trapped in a
continues.
cycle.
And then you lose your confidence. Next thing you know, it's 10 years later, you're living in your mother's basement, and people call you, I think it starts with K.
A killer, a serial killer in waiting.
Not quite where I was going, but
To bring up your comment, it was like, isn't it amazing how the Japanese bounced back from Nagasaki and Hiroshima? I mean, with the sex dolls,
What?
and technology.
I'm missing how those dots connect.
Yeah.
You gotta help me here.
Seriously, they're the ones that created the real life sex dolls that actually are like
The Japanese,
like they do
yeah.
everything. Like, it's amazing. I just think it's amazing that he bounced
But
back
how
that
did
far.
you
so
do
quickly.
So on that note, I did see a thing on the news.
Right?
That those bloody robots that they did create and they're for sexual pleasure and everything else.
Yeah.
They're getting a glitch.
Oh, so now that's
Wrong
what
with it.
is it? What is
Nobody
that? What's that
can see
movie
what
where
this
they have
means.
the
No.
What's the glitch?
That just means she's full. That's something that I don't know if anybody else, I just thought about for the first time. You think about these sex dolls and stuff like that. There has to be a
reservoir.
tray that you gotta
Drainage port.
So you're like in the mood with this doll and you're doing this thing to this doll, and then you release and you fall back down, and then you gotta go through the shame and the horror of looking at yourself in the mirror as you rinse out your fucking sex.
They don't do
doll.
that. They don't do that. They get this.
I don't want to drive into a crowd.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Ugh.
Housekeeping. That's exactly what happens. So,
But that
Kaz,
wouldn't bother them because if they're down that low that they gotta go get a sex doll, that isn't gonna bother them in the least.
Yeah, but this is not a sex doll anymore. This is an actual
Yeah, or,
functioning.
Or maybe they just wear rubbers.
well, it's not very big, yeah.
You know who needs to talk to each other? The Zumba people and the sex doll people. If you could have a sex doll that also vacuumed.
Has anyone ever
Oh, you
seen
mean
a
Roomba?
male sex
Roomba.
doll?
Yeah, a Roomba. One of the robot.
So they
vacuum
like, so they'll
cleaners.
clean out your doll, and or so they clean themselves.
Clean up the floor, clean themselves. They don't talk.
Yeah, but you could have
You know, there might be something to this.
you could have a
Matter of
sex,
fact, Kaz, I did.
You have seen a male sex doll?
you could have a sex robot that flies a
No!
drone. That flies a drone.
Really?
It was a blow
You
up.
could have them delivered,
Oh yeah.
right?
Could you have a sex
Sex
doll
doll
delivered
flies
by
a
a
drone.
drone? We have robots giving you robots. That's bad. That's fucking Skynet shit. I'm out. Do you want Terminator? This is how you get a
It's here.
Terminator.
It's here.
Yeah, it's already here.
Did
It's
you
been here.
see Blade Runner?
It's been here forever.
It's happening.
That's right. Exactly. Next
So-
thing you know,
Let's get.
it'd be like, excuse me, honey, are you real?
So what if they come out with a sex man doll?
Well, that's
No,
what
we were
I'm
talking
saying.
about. Well, you guys are yabbering. on it.
Yeah, Dave's actually seen
That's
one.
called a jackhammer, isn't it?
No,
A hammer drill, hammer drill.
Listen,
Spins
a friend of
and.
mine who's a
And
real
balls.
prankster had a male blow-up doll, and he had it behind the couch, and he had it hooked up to an air compressor.
Friend of yours.
And when, literally, I don't want to say his name.
Did it have all the bits?
Nice snort.
What?
Did it have all the bits?
Yeah, well, listen.
Did it
So-
start?
Oh,
Did
little
his
bits
name?
and pieces.
You mean they have a cross?
Shut up,
Did his
I'll
name?
tell the story.
Does his name start with D and rhyme with Maeve?
No, it starts with B and rhymes with ill.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways,
Hill?
so
Willis.
his girlfriend's mother was coming over for Christmas, so we're over there having drinks, and I knew I was there early. He had set it up behind the couch, and he had this compressor set up. He's a prankster, okay? This is a small prank. And so he made sure she sat down on the couch,
His mom.
his girlfriend's mom.
Okay.
So as soon as she's sitting there with all drinks, and I see him hit the button, you could hear the compressor.
They are quiet.
Music's on, but everything. All of a sudden, this fucking thing pops up from behind the couch, right? Schlong! Right beside her fucking head. So that's the only reason I know there are male blow-up dolls.
That's fucking funny.
But you can take this to a whole other dimension. Take one of these sex robots. On your wedding night, have your wife cloned, store the information for 30 years, and after 30 years, you just get an updated new wife.
You're fucking disturbed.
Whoa!
But that's how fast this shit goes too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a,
What kind of toppings you guys like on your pizza?
not pineapple, Perry. That's against the rules. No pineapple on the pizza. Keep the pineapple off the fucking pizza.
No!
You wanted to
It's not a
say-
fucking nuts.
What? No. What did you say? What about the pineapple on the pizza over there? Over there. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes!
Yes.
No, hang on. Okay, YouTube, fine. Dan?
This isn't a luau. You want to have something sweet? Have it in your dessert after you eat the pizza pie, which is savory. Don't go mixing that shit. Get your sweet tangy barbecue and
It's
your,
about having a well-balanced
and your
meal.
greasy fucking ranch sauce underneath the cheese and all your weird flavors. Pepperoni, mushroom,
Anchovies.
big sausage, like I said earlier.
So what do you stuff the
But you know what happened? You know what happened? I'll tell you what
You
happened.
don't stuff crust with hot dogs, Pizza Hut, or Little Caesars, where you fucking weirdos are.
Chicago.
Hot dogs have no place in a pizza crust. You're already fat.
Yeah,
and
to be honest.
disgusting.
Yeah, I agree with that. Stuffing the crust is
Did you
just
see
too
my-
much.
But you know how they got pizza? You know how they got pineapple on the pizza anyway, right? It's like the Reese's peanut butter cup story. You know, you got two guys walking together and all of a sudden, "Pfft, hey, you got peanut butter on my chocolate. Yeah, you got chocolate on my peanut butter. Hey, this is pretty good. Duh. So you had a guy eating a fucking bowl of pineapple, ran into a guy with a fucking pepperoni pizza, and off we go.
I think
That's what happened.
You know what I think? You know what
That's
happened?
what I think happened.
You know what I think happened?
That's
Sure.
how the
You
Japanese
wanna
call it, the sex
know
robot.
how I think it happened?
I do want to know how you think it happened.
Because you know how Elvis used to eat the pickle bacon peanut butter
Banana.
sandwich?
Banana.
Yeah, the banana peanut butter sandwich.
And he
Fried.
was filming that shitty fucking movie Blue Hawaii.
Oops, I knew that was gonna happen.
No fucking rules.
I knew it was gonna happen.
There's pretty fucking funny. I had no idea Elvis actually talked like that. I was watching like a flip of the TV, and Blue Hawaii comes on, and he's like, "Well, you see, you need hands to pick the pineapple. All the hands can tell the pineapple." And I'm like, "Holy shit, he actually sounded like that? Like that's fucking crazy." I thought everyone was doing a bit, but he died like 11 years before I was born, so I didn't know. So yeah, he came up with that fucked up banana bacon shit sandwich. How the hell did he not come up with? He's like, "We're here in Hawaii, we're filming this. You know about a pineapple? Put it on some pizza. And instead of tomato sauce, I want some barbecue sauce. And instead of some pepperoni, I want some just flat ham."
Just ham it up.
See,
Just
and you
put
guys
some
all
ham to
bought
it.
into it. And every time you buy a Hawaiian pizza, Priscilla Presley makes another fucking $1.
Yeah, but you know what? She deserves it because I mean, think about it. You know, she was what, 8 when they married?
14.
So-
They were 14. She was
Oh,
14.
so 8 carry the 2.
No. She
Divide
was
by
14 when they met. She was 21 when they married.
Well, good
Hey,
for
well,
you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So he kept her on fucking like layaway. But while he was doing all this, fucking wherever you want to be, fucking, oh, I'll keep this one over here, fucking, because one of these days she's gonna be old enough to fucking be able, you know, get it on and fucking whatever. What was my point? My fucking totally lost my point. It was pizza, ham pie pizza. It was like
Did you see the new KFC sandwich?
I think we should have a little.
So
What,
it's a breaded fillet, and instead of buns, it's fucking glazed donuts.
Oh, for fuck's sake! No, man, really?
Yeah.
Legit.
KFC, we talked about that before. Stop fucking with your fucking chicken. Jesus
Now
Christ.
that-
You're the last bastion of
gross.
fat ass food. Except for Chick-fil-A. Who? Oh, by the way.
I
Just started coming in
I
Canada.
want Chick-fil-A up here. Are they coming?
No, they're already here.
Where?
Toronto.
No, like here.
Well, I don't know when they're coming
I don't
here.
count Toronto as a Canadian city.
You want to
It's
go in on?
over
You
there.
want to go in on a franchise?
Huh?
You want to go in on a franchise?
For a Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
I think you have to be like super Christian because they don't open on Sundays. They donate.
100%.
They donate to like anti-LGBTQ communities.
Yeah.
I refuse to fucking be a part of that. I'm gonna eat their chicken because it's fantastic, and you can't taste hate in chicken. I can't taste it,
Right.
but I'm not gonna.
But you know what?
I'm not-
We can rip off the recipes and do our own thing.
Should we do a chicken cook-off? You want to do a fried?
Tony's fried chicken is fantastic.
Yeah, we'll do a chicken cook-off.
Fried, fried,
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, next weekend is down.
Right.
Fried chicken fried
Fried.
cook-off.
TFC versus the DFC.
Oh, you know
Ooh, that'd be fun.
It's Sunday.
I'll be a judge.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna put pineapple in.
Okay, this time we'll do it. We're gonna do this at our place. So are you throwing down? Are you throwing down? Oh my God! You just
I
stepped
tell
in
you
my
what.
world, my friend.
You're gonna lose.
By the way, I'm wearing my Tush Fest shirt because Tush Fest is a great event that raised over $13,000 for parking passes for cancer patients. And nobody made a cent. Everybody put in their time, and it was a freaking great event. Go on Facebook because you can check it out. Go Tush Fest.
Sweet.
So
Cavalry.
Calgary.
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Went to the
You
game.
guys go.
Went to the game last week and
No, you
won
didn't.
4-1. Yes, we did.
But
But
if you
if
did.
we did.
They're playing right now. You know that.
Celebrate. Oh, are they?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, they're playing York Nine.
But they're playing Wednesday as well at Spruce Meadows, so get down there and support them because we're that close to winning the.
We're already in the
championship.
finals.
Yeah.
We are?
Yeah, we're already in the finals because we won the spring leg.
Excellent.
The fall leg, unfortunately, the winner of the fall leg gets to pick when they have their home game, when they have the away game, even though the dates are set. So that's all done up. We got a game going on.
Oh, there we go.
On Wednesday. We need some support down there. It's a little bit cold out, but we'll get it.
Flip it
Yeah,
around.
upside down.
There you go.
Hey, Calvary, because nobody knows any other songs or your section, Dan. Calvary.
I do
You
say- I
you
do
gotta
say-
learn some different songs, man.
I know. I started the Sweet Cavalry.
And I started, hey, baby, ooh, ah. We all know who's gonna score the next goal. Calvary! but they never caught on.
I don't know that song.
That's because I made it up.
Do any of you guys have any 15 minutes of fame stories, or have you met someone
Okay.
who is
I got this.
famous?
All right. Let's go.
I met John Cleese, and he was a right cunt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was
He
in,
used the word you break out glass in case of emergency.
I was in San Francisco. I was in a 7-Eleven, and this guy in front of me, he was like an older gentleman, clearly, and he's like, "I need a potato vodka." And I was like, "That's a bad John Cleese." But I I recognized the voice, and I kind of peeked my head around, and I'm like, sees like his shitty little mustache and shit, and I'm like,
Oh, you really
and I'm
like
like,
him.
Asshole!
and I'm like, "Excuse me, are you John Cleese?" And he's like, "Yeah, leave me the fuck alone."
He didn't say
Yeah,
that.
he did. He said, "Leave me the fuck alone."
Really?
And I was like, "Okay, I get it. You get pestered all the time, but stop making movies then."
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Get the fuck out of it.
I wasn't gonna ask for a picture. He didn't know that. He didn't know I wasn't gonna be like some fucking "Oh, fucking Faulty Towers, let's do all the bits and shit like that." I would have just said, "Thanks for all the free funny, man."
Aww.
Okay.
But he was a goddamn, maybe he was having a bad day.
I hope
maybe
so.
the previous guy
Maybe
wanted
he just
like
don't want
20
to know you.
pictures or something.
I hope he was just having a bad day, because I love John Cleese.
I know.
And
And every time I watch the parrot sketch,
Tony.
I'm like, fuck this guy.
Because that's really...
Tony,
Yes, the older gentleman. in the
I've
crowd.
got one too.
Do you want to go first? I can't feel mine anymore.
You go.
Okay.
Is your circulation that bad?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm old, man. Give me a break. Biggest twat I've ever met in my entire life in the business, Mr. Robert Plant. All right, so I'll give you a little rundown very quickly. Is that we were the host band at the Frankie and Johnny's South, which used to be the old South Center Inn in Calgary, and we had a little room on Sunday called the Silver Bullet Bar, where we'd have to, part of our contract was if we played the gig at South Center Inn, we had to play at Silver Bullet Bar on Sunday, which was a jam night. So we had to put up all our shit, everybody got the wang on. Well, the one Sunday that we did, we had actually the concert in town. It was the Black Crowes and Robert Plant. And so all of a sudden, there was no other place to go in Calgary on a Sunday night except for this place. So everyone got all excited. Their road managers were all, "Oh, these guys are going to want to, get off stage and go to a bar, right? Go to a pub." So they sequestered a whole area for the Black Crowes and Robert Plant, his entourage, and the musicians and everything like that. And we were hosting the jam. And so Black Crowes, they just released that album, the first album.
Amorica or
No, the first one.
Shake Your Moneymaker.
Shake Your Money Maker, the first one.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, little money.
Oh yeah, I love Black Crowes.
Yeah.
I like
So do
that
I.
song.
So they were fantastic. We jammed with them actually because we did their song. So we jammed with Black Crowes. While Chris Robinson sang, I stepped off. When I stepped off, I kind of saw Robert Plant, oh yeah, and kind of sidled up. I didn't want to come over the top, And it was like, and I went to shake his hand. I went, "Mr. Plant, it's great meeting you." I go, "That's nice."
Yeah, that's
And I
nice. You gotta, yeah, that's
Not
nice.
the Olympian handshake.
Yeah, it was like fucking and I went, "You just fucked Led Zeppelin for me for the rest of my life."
Did you say that to him?
No, of course not. No, but it was just in my head. I went, "Who do you think puts you there? The fans buy your albums. They put you where you are. John Cleese, your fans put you where you are. Because, and people just, people that get up in the stars and stuff like that don't realize that. And they don't get it. By the by,
Some do.
Does anybody have a positive
yes.
story? No, you had your turn.
No, I got a
No,
positive
you
story.
wasted it.
Go ahead.
No, you talk about Lemmy, because I know that.
Lemmy Kilmister was the biggest gentleman in rock and roll. Biggest gentleman from Motorhead. God rest his soul. By the way, he has passed on. He was.
Jamie, get your shit right.
The dreaded 2016 where everybody passed.
Yeah, he was by far the biggest gentleman I've ever met in the entire planet of rock and roll. Because so we were long story short, we were playing the Beverly Crest in Edmonton, and it was part of our gig. Motorhead was staying at the Beverly Crest, like Dennis, our guitar player, come right up to me, goes, "Fucking Motorhead's here," you know, because their bus pulled up. You know, we're going, "Yeah, I didn't know they're staying here." It's like, okay. So they came out and partied with us on a Friday night, and all the guys from Motorhead were fantastic. In fact, I remember meeting Filthy Animal Taylor again. God rest his soul. The guy's like 2 inches tall. Because we finished the set and I got this tap on the shoulder. I turn around. He goes, "Oi, you're the singer for Dirty Deeds. You're a fucking good band." I'm like, "Oh my God, this is Filthy Animal Taylor. Fucking I'm good." Anyway, so we get invited over to the sound check the next day because they were backing up Alice Cooper, and so we went in there and we went backstage and you know the light man right away had beers for us as soon as we walked in the door, just like, "Oh, you guys have this and everything." And we're going, you know, like, and we were just having such a good time. We went backstage. Lemmy showed up, and oh, by the way, sound check. Lemmy Kilminster. Freaking the guy's stage volume was unfucking believable.
Loudest band on the planet.
Unfucking believable. This is a true story. So we're sitting there. We're at the soundboard, and he's doing his check with his rig, and I'm going, "Fuck, that's amazing. It's loud." And my fillings were shaking my face. And the soundman just looked at me and goes, "Wait till I punch in the system." He punched in the system and it was like, like this. I'm going, "Fuck." Anyway, so before they played, we were backstage and Lemmy he goes, because he enjoyed the band Dirty Deeds. And Dirty Deeds has re-risen, by the way. Gotta plug that. He goes, first of all, we were doing like Monty Python skits. So he was up there doing the Norwegian fish slap dance. He goes, "Yeah, I remember this bit." You know, it's like, you know, we got the little, and he goes, "You got the big halibut, wham," knocks the guy off the dock, you know. And then we talked about Far Side comics because Far Side was huge at that time, and we had a really great time. What blew my mind was we went out and we watched their show. We had to get back to the hotel. We couldn't watch Alice Cooper because we had to get back to the hotel and do our gig. But at the end, they do the song Overkill, and he goes, "This goes out to the band Dirty Deeds. They're getting better, or sorry, they're not getting what they deserve," and blah, in front of the freaking Coliseum. I'm just like, "Ah!" Sorry. Yeah, that's my story.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, yours.
Oh, you know?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Crosby.
Really?
This,
Like, wait, Bing,
no,
David,
Sidney Crosby.
I was thinking the same.
Bing,
Which
David,
one?
Sydney,
Sydney. Okay.
Rapist.
Okay, can you shut up now?
Okay, Crosby.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Sidney Crosby's
Sydney Crosby.
summer's home is in my old hometown,
Yeah. What? You come from where?
Enfield, Nova Scotia.
Okay. All right.
He,
Nice.
first few years he was out there, he lives on a private island, gated. First few years when he moved in, everybody's losing their mind because Crosby's here.
Right.
Couldn't really go out public because he was just mobbed. After a few years, it calmed down a bit. So he was only there for like 6 weeks of the summer, in the summer or whatever. But you'd see him around town. And people were like, "Hey, you know,
Yep.
swinging dicks like you and I, and be like, 'Hey, how are you?' Keep his head, you know, give the man some privacy."
Yeah.
And then there was one night in the parking lot at
The infamous night.
at the strip mall. He's there getting whatever, and people are like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's clearly being polite, but he's trying to get to his Range Rover.
Yeah.
And there's this mother with her 10-year-old boy in the parking lot. And the kid just went starstruck. "Oh my God, it's Sidney Crosby, right?" Sidney looked over at him, looked at his mother, went right over. "Hey dude, how you doing? What's going on? Do you play hockey and whatnot?" And then started like, "How's your skating coming? You working on your skating skills? You got a stick handle?" Giving this kid a little coaching session,
That's awesome.
right? Maybe 4 or 5 minutes. But that kid just become his biggest fan for the rest of his young life.
Absolutely.
And the fact of the matter is, when I was watching him do it, Sidney Crosby or any other professional sports player has millions and millions of dollars, and they make.
They don't have to. They don't
And
have
why? That little 3-foot chip right there,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? And he took the time to stop and pay attention to him and give him the credit he deserves.
Awesome.
Then,
Great story.
other side of that,
Uh-oh.
Jose Bautista. Watched him in a baseball game.
Joey Bats.
foul ball, bounces off the dirt, bounces off the wall, so the ball's garbage at this point. They won't, they throw it. He picks the ball up 2 feet from the wall. There it is. There's like 8 kids right at that wall. The wall's only like 4 or 5 feet high. Hands out, oh my God, give me a ball, give me a ball. He takes the ball, throws it up in the air, looks at the kids, catches it, and walks away. It's like,
Really?
You are an asshole.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting paid all this money to be that way with your fans. You don't deserve.
Oh, he said, okay, there's a bunch of kids there. What's he supposed to do? Throw it in the air and let him fight for it?
Yeah.
Give it to one kid, make one kid happy,
Yeah,
disappoint 7 others?
Toss it in the air. Look away and toss it in the air. Whoever catches it, catches it.
Let's focus on the good. Let's focus on Sidney Crosby. If I could channel Don Cherry for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a
Go.
good Canadian boy. He's talking to the kids, and that's all we are.
Give me a thumbs up, man.
That's too fucking good.
All right, I gotta. That's it for me this week. I gotta piss.
Okay.
Where's my...
Dan's out. Okay.
Yeah, mine's quick actually.
I heard that about you.
You know nothing. No, I just remember when Reading, it was a soccer match in England and Reading had won a title, and that's when all the players and the wives and families got invited up to the directors' bar, basically. And I went up there, and I think I was about 18, and I was just standing there having a beer, and in walks Bobby Moore, who was the England captain when we won the World Cup in 1966, and he smiled at me, and my knees just went. I mean, not because of an attraction, but because this was the guy
Dog guy.
who was the captain. It's a big thing for soccer fans in England.
Right.
And it was great. The other one was George Best. And
You met George Best?
I was in the same room as him.
Oh, wow. That's fucking huge.
And he, as you can imagine, he was the type. I walked into this room. My dad was playing a charity match with him, and walked into the players' lounge afterwards, and he was sitting there. And as you can imagine, he just took over the whole room. He had the charisma of, I mean, just an amazing personality. He just sat there and he was holding court, and he had everybody. And he was dating at that point Mary Stavin, who was Miss World, and she was in the James Bond movie Octopussy. And beautiful woman, stunning woman. And yeah, it was kind of amazing.
That's
yeah,
cool. Right on.
amazing, absolutely amazing. So they're the two I can think of off the top of my head. Just
Perfect.
really good. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, guess what? We're coming down to the end of the show. This has been Tony Tattoo, DJ Kaz, Richie Rich. We had
Dan.
where the fuck did he go?
The man, Dan.
Well, he's. Maybe I imagine he was there. Ricky Rocket came in and she ate some spam for a good cause, for some cancer. So anybody else wants to come on the show and eat some spam, we're more than happy to have you on to raise some money for a good cause. And so you can check us out on Twitter, Instagram, if you have to. We still don't know how that shit works. Facebook, we got our first thumb button here.
YouTube.
Oh,
You've been leaving it out.
have I?
Yes.
Oh, yes, you can actually watch the show on YouTube, which is where we're at. Thank you very much, Dave. Subscribe. Yeah, you subscribe up. And we want to have you people on the show. Anybody has something to say or something to talk about or bring up to our attention? Any charity that you want to plug? We're all about it. And so check us out. Come on the show.
Or if you come up with a new type of congealed ham sort of thing, pumpkin spice meal.
Oh, we can do that all day
offer
long.
this on the show.
Sure. Yeah, so you can come up with a great recipe with fucking some congealed meat and Spanish type of mini sausage dogs things, and you really think it's exciting, bring it on the show. This has been Tony Tattoo. This has been Wideopenyyc. This has been Wide Open YYC. Keep it between ditches and just give somebody a hug. All right?
I think Dan might want to say goodbye to everybody. Dan, would you like to say
Maybe Dan wants to say goodbye to everybody.
In front of him.
Get out of me!
Dan's back!
Here, got you, bro.
There we go.
Oh, this is so much more difficult than getting out.
While you're down there.
I didn't
Oh,
know.
steady! Plumber butt!
I haven't done crack for a long time, Dan. I did
Crack.
say that.
Guys, belts are a fucking waste of money. And I'm gonna explain that.
Oh, you seated comfortably.
Go ahead.
What we
Here
doing?
we go.
Someone give me a microphone. I'm not mic'd up here, and I gotta get this off.
There you go.
All right.
Hang on a minute.
Belts are a waste of money, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh, I was chatting to my boob.
Same with socks. Same with socks. People don't know this
You
about
didn't
me.
attach it to your boob, did you?
No, he was chatting to my boob.
Owie.
People don't know this about me, but I never match my socks when they come out of the laundry or anything like that. I don't ever spend time. Think of how much time you spent in your entire life matching socks out of the dryer.
What?
Like you take your clean clothes out of the dryer and you're like, where's that other sock? And then you tie it together and everything like that. Accumulate all that time in your life matching socks.
Well, those socks are going to be found with Amelia Earhart.
None of my fucking socks ever match.
And they never come out equal.
And never
So
come
why
out.
bother?
Exactly. How much time are you going to waste in your life? You're going to get to the pearly gates and the
What pearly gates?
St. Peter?
St. Peter.
St. Peter or the gates of hell, probably for all of us. And they're going to be, Satan's going to
Most
be like,
likely.
do you know you spent 3 days?
This is the gates of hell.
You know you spent 3 days of your life matching socks? And you're going to be like, fuck, I wasted 3 goddamn days of my life matching socks. You're going to feel stupid as shit. Back onto the belts. Just buy pants that fit. It's fine. You're a 28 waist. No, none of you people are 28 waist.
You're a dick. You are a dick. You know that, right?
You had that. Can you, like,
Why'd you come back?
yeah, let's go.
I'm a 33 myself. So anyway, you buy a 33 waist. You're a 33 waist. You buy 32 pants. They stay on you. It's fine. Now I understand for you. You're in construction. You need all that belt to keep all that weight up from all your tools. You. I mean, like you don't need them. You don't have a tool belt and shit like that, so you don't need a belt. Okay.
But just as...
No, I have a Bud Light belly. That's
For
what I
general
need.
shapes, he needs a belt, brother. Trust
Oh,
me.
okay.
I don't want to see him without a belt.
Oh, you fucking
Really
killed
don't.
me.
Just like, let's leave that one alone. Like, not even go there.
I went a couple of years without wearing underwear.
Oh, fuck.
How'd that work out,
It was great. Not having to worry about it. How much money you waste on underwear? Washing it, cleaning it, changing it every day. Oh, why?
Rip
Why,
that.
why do you have underwear? Why?
Because you never trust a fart. That's why.
There you go. Ah, nicely played. Well played. You'll know when you get older.
I guess when
You
I get,
sneeze the wrong way, also it's like you touch cloth, man. It's
when
like-
I get to your guys' age and I have to worry about shitting myself, maybe I will, but
Oh, man.
I don't have to worry when incontinence is part of my daily fucking like bobble in my brain. Maybe I'll start.
So are you wearing underwear now?
I think we've reached the bottom of the ditch. in the
Hang on.
snow.
Are you wearing underwear now?
Yeah,
Oh,
Why?
Go.
Why?
Let's not go any further.
because it looks sexy. You guys want
Let's
to
no, no, no.
No, go ahead.
Sit.
No, I want to see it.
That's what you cut.
No,
That's
come
what
on.
you cut when I'm fucking asserting on
We
duty.
do have a disclaimer. You can
Yeah.
get into it if you want.
Really?
Oh, see, now we're going to a whole different fucking industry.
Speaking of getting nude.
Check it out.
Anyway, this has been Wide Open
Wait,
YYC.
do the people outside start goofing at me?
No, he's
No,
not in the
I-
camera yet. Dipshit.
Did someone bring my coat in? Because I left it out there.
This is Wide Open YYC. Acting Kildares, and let me tell you something that please subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out or respond to us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, which is probably the best place to have any kind of conversation. Just remember, keep between the ditches. Give somebody a hug this week because everybody deserves one.
Solar shining
is somewhere in his person. Find out where at 8 o'clock. How do you find Ronald McDonald on the Naked Beach?
Don't know.
He's the one with the sesame seed buns.
I'm not good at jokes. Hi.
So this guy dies and he's on his way up to heaven, and Angel Peter stops him and says, "Okay, 3 guys die. Sorry," and they're on their way up. Oh yeah, you can come in.
Andy!
Where do you want these?
I have the Hefeweizen. Thank you. How much distance was it to get this? Was it far? Wasn't that the name of the beer? It's like F-A-H-R. It's far.
Yeah, something like that.
Doe the stuff that buys the beer. Ray, the guy who sells the beer. Me, the guy who drinks the beer. Far the distance to my beer.
What song are you going to sing with Tony?
So I think I'll have a beer.
What's
la,
that?
la 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 beer. So much beer. Okay, so 3 guys die and they're on their way to heaven, and the angel Peter stops them and says, "All right."
Saint Peter.
Yeah, ask the first guy. Says Peter. Ask the first guy. Says, "How many times did you cheat on your wife?" And he says, "Never, not once." He says, "Okay, you get to drive up to heaven in a Corvette." So he's like, "Wow, fuck, sweet, rip it up." And he asks the second guy, same question: "How many times did you cheat on your wife?" And he says, "Once." So he gets to go up to heaven in a 10-speed mountain bike. And the third guy, she said, Peter guy says, "How many times did you cheat on your wife?" And he says, "Every chance I got." So he got to go up to heaven in rollerblades. And the guy in rollerblades, cheating on his wife every chance he got, is rollerblading up to heaven. And he sees the guy in the Corvette on the side of the road, and he's like crying. He's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" He says, "Well, I just saw my wife going up to heaven and she was walking."
Oh!